walloped way out of here.
What's up, fam? We are Spitting Seeds. We are back. It's been a little while. Man, Troy left me high and dry. This cat just took off. Man, we had all these plans. He broke my heart. It's like a date and he never came back, man. But we are back. We're Spitting Seeds. Troy, what's happening? Troy, introduce our special guest we have with us tonight.
Hey, we got Ruben Ibarra here tonight, man, and AA ball player with the Cincinnati Reds currently. We're very excited to have him on. Here's what he's got to say about the ball game and what he's up to. So welcome, Ruben.
Appreciate that. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man, for sure. Welcome to the show. Very briefly, like I said, this cat gave me an hour to try to research. I did. Well, that's okay because I did, and I was able to see a little bit of what you do. And my God, man, what did these baseballs ever do to you?
1-2 pitch, roped out to left field. This one's fair, and this ball is gone up onto home run hill. A second home run this year for Ruben Ibarra. It's 5-2 Dayton in the third.
On the 3-1, he drills this one to left field. Did he do it again? Two-homer game, Ruben Ibarra bouncing across Cedar Street. 7-3 Dayton. He came
like, holy cow. Right? I mean, you're just
it's a different mindset when I'm in that box, man. I want to hurt it.
478, I think I saw.
Just a number, man.
I guess so, right? You're like, none of those analytics matter. How big are you? Like, what size are you?
Guarantee how big an old boy are you? We're going to need us a plot before this is over with. You know that, don't you?
I'm 6'5", 295 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about the same size as Troy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's big cat. That's right.
You got a foot and 200 pounds on Troy. How you guys met, man? Like, how do you guys know each other just from coming up together?
Yeah. So we actually met through a mutual friend, man. The pro ball's a small world. It's a brotherhood. And we got on something similar to this one night, and he was talking about helping kids and remembering what he used to be like, and it was great to hear. So I wanted to hear from him, and we had him on here tonight.
Troy's got a knack for finding not only people with outstanding talent, but people who are truly good soul, like good people, right? Just salt of the earth type people, man. And, so far he's 100% track record on that. Just people that fit the criteria, someone I would want to sit down and have a conversation with my son about baseball. But I love that Troy, he can judge these characters. So obviously if he made the call to get you on the show, you're a class act. Tell us about you. Introduce yourself to the world. People are going to be watching and they want to know who Ruben is. If they don't know already, because there will be clips with these home runs getting played, but tell us about yourself.
My name is Ruben Ibarra. I'm from Watsonville, California. I am 25 years old. I played at San Jose State for 3 years through the COVID year. My first season was in 2018. Got drafted in 21 in the fourth round, 119th pick to the Cincinnati Reds. And from there, been rocking, man. Small town guy from Watsonville, California. I love my family. I love my fiance. Love my dog.
Nice.
I love the man above and trusting that everything's going to work out for its own, man. Continue to walk by faith and not by sight.
That's great, man. That's great.
I love it.
You're currently in Chattanooga, right?
Yeah, I just got promoted not too long ago.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I think, Troy, if you don't mind, I'm going to get started just with a question. I think people have the biggest misconception they have is that when you get drafted to play ball, that you're the next Ellie De La Cruz or the next, Urban Carroll, right? I mean, they hear drafted with high prospect potential, and I think people just think it's just that easy, like it's the next step. That's just cracking the surface. You get drafted, great, right? But now you're in this mix with not only American, but South American, European, you name it, and it's like, how intimidated were you once you got drafted? When you kind of feel top of the world and all your family's like, yo, this guy got drafted and everybody's calling you and congratulating you and a couple people are asking for money. But how humbling was it, when you got to camp or when you got, your first taste of seeing everyone around you?
It was cool, man. I was the first one in my draft class to go in there. I was excited. Wanted to get there early, meet everyone, try to get ready to work right away. All how the structure was run, and it was really free compared to what college baseball was like. Very college baseball, you move as a unit, you move together.
Yeah.
And with the professional level, you had different time slots where you had to be. You had pre-draft meetings, the camp meetings, and then you had practices and all that stuff. So the formality of it was getting used to, but seeing the dudes out there, I knew that I was like, okay, so this is the next level. All right, bring it on, I ain't got time to be nervous. It's time to put in work.
Really? See, and I that's a great, so no intimidation factor. You were just ready to get out there.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did get a little bit of butterflies. I'm not a perfect person, but but like I feel those moments when I'm putting on the jersey or I'm lacing up the cleats and I'm out stretching, like on my way up to the box. And for me personally, I play in a whole like World Series environment, and I envision everyone saying my name. It don't matter if it's in the backfield or not. Like I'm in that moment.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's when the butterflies kick in. But when I go in that box, it's mano y mano. And coming off of San Jose our last year, we didn't exactly have the best record. So we, in that mindset, it was continue to be a dog and dog it out and show them why I'm here.
Good stuff. It's good stuff, man.
Troy, dive in with one. Because listen, I have so many questions for Ruben right now that if I could just click you off and you could just go back and do what you're doing, and I could really. So I'm anxious. So if you got something for him, man, dig in. But
yeah, no, I just want to know, Ruben, where your mindset comes from, and because your success so far in your career is outstanding. So where does that kind of come from? Does it come from your father or family member, a coach?
It definitely comes from my dad. He's a hardcore dude, man. He's someone that I really looked up to, and still do to this day. And just to see how tough of a dude he was, really inspired me to really put on that front and really put on that game face, whether it be like, he always taught me make friends, not enemies. But once it's in them lines, anything goes, to the extent within the rules, anything goes, go handle your business, go do what you got to do. We could talk later, but until then, you got a job to do.
Ask for forgiveness after, right?
Yeah, right. As having him as my Little League coach growing up and my first ever coach in all sports, it has a different meaning to it. So going out and playing like as if I was playing with them, like my best friend, that was my guy. That is still my guy. So that competitive nature came from him.
Did he play ball?
He did. He played football, baseball.
Yeah, but clearly this dude was an athlete, and he produced one as well. I got to ask you, it's been such a hot topic as far as almost every interview I've done, man, I would say over the past 2 or 3 months, especially baseball season, as soon as it crept up, the hottest topic in the world is the whole travel environment right now, man. Like the travel for kids versus the hot corner type, right? Facilities versus travel ball. We have to play travel ball or else our kids never going to get a shot at anything, that it's diluted and watered down any type of like township ball, right? Like my local town in Buffalo, say it's Hamburg, and just your local municipalities. That's how I grew up playing ball, dude. I'm 45 years old. You'd go play Little League, then you'd go on to a college or a prep school or something, or a JUCO, and then get noticed, hopefully, and then go to the next level, right? And you did it the right way. You went to San Jose State and you got drafted 4th round, which in baseball is amazing, right? And then, so what is your take on the state of the union with travel ball?
I could see it being a hot topic. It hasn't really surfaced over here.
Okay.
For me, I was in the travel ball world, but I was in the travel ball aspect to where my parents couldn't afford it. So it started coming to the point where I had other not players, but other families and managers paying for me to go out and play.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they saw your potential. So that's almost like, were they like host family type things?
Yeah, we were really close with the friends of the family. And so where it all kind of started, the travel ball for me was a small town team. And we were just a small town team of like kind of like backyard dogs that just wanted to go play.
Okay.
And not everyone could fathom at the fact that how different balances our team was. We were beating people. So then we started getting recognized more and more. And as you go throughout that ladder, we played that local travel ball tournaments, which is, I can't tell you how many times I played at San Jose Twin Creeks. Like 100 tournaments, you see the same people and you see the same thing. So when other people start coming in, like, who's that guy? And then that's how Troy and I become back to where the baseball world is so small.
Yes, literally like a funnel, man. Like a funnel.
And it's so funny how it all comes back around. And, sometimes you go guest play on a team and you gel like so well with 7 other people on the team. All of a sudden you follow each other, and then you guys, go your different paths, but you still kind of come back to that same, like, okay, we're, okay,
Yep.
let's go, come on, and then there's that mutual respect.
But is it fair to say that that's for your elite players? Like, you guys are both elite players. The average travel ball player who maybe their parents think they're going to be, something. I feel like, let me put it this way. We're at a tournament in Niagara Falls yesterday. What's today? Monday. Yesterday, right? And my son's out there and he's doing his thing, right? There's a kid. He's 11U. He's playing 11U. This kid's playing third. Birth certificate check, please. He's Ruben size, right? The kid, first pitch he saw from our pitcher, crushes the thing over the fence, right?
Really?
Troy, I'm not joking. This kid was probably throwing, he was 11 years old, and all the kids are like, he throws 80, 85. He was probably throwing mid 60s, like high 60s.
Really?
And he's just the type of kid that you stop and you look and you're like, okay, right? Like Ruben was. Because when Ruben was playing in the backyard, junkyard dog leagues or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? This dude was crushing balls, and he was that guy. He was the guy people were stopping and saying, that guy, that's, that guy's going to be the one, right?
Yeah, it's actually a great point, because even if you're 11 years old, you still know who the good players are, and they stay good. You know what I'm saying? But at that age, there's not a lot of, hard work. They're not taking all the swings that it takes to be elites. And then those who do stay up, and then they become Ruben. So, obviously this guy's a hard worker.
This, I guess, like I said, the state of the union with it, but let's get back to you. Let's get back to these bombs. I saw your numbers, right? And I love these baseball sites, man, that say like, man, what's going on with Ruben? He had a bad month with his on-base percentage, slipped from something that no one's ever touched to something that was like realistic. And it was like, oh my God, what's going on? Panic mode, right? Like,
yeah.
Dude, you were batting 400 at one point. How much more can you do, right? You're 25. Do you feel like the word wouldn't really be time is running out, but you got to be super anxious, right? Like how badly do you want to get to that next level because you're there. I feel like
he's one call away, it's
that's right. Yeah. Does it keep you up at night? Like, do you feel like, what else can I possibly do?
It adds fuel to the fire. I wake up with that chip on my shoulder.
It's a great answer.
I don't walk around with it being noticeable. Like, it doesn't come out of me when I talk to people. It doesn't come out of me when I play the game, because my demeanor doesn't change. My intentions don't change. When I come to the field, I don't think about going to the big leagues. Like, the reason I kind of was up and down was a mentality standpoint, thinking I should have been somewhere else where I should have been. Okay. But I had a real talk with my manager, and it was like, listen, forget about it. Be present where you are right now. Dominate where you are right now. And so I accepted that role, and I said, okay, you know what? Put it to the side. How are we going to win the ball game? You start changing your thoughts, like, oh, no, I should be here, or why aren't I here? But okay, I got a runner at second, less than 1 out. How am I going to get him over? Or how am I going to score him?
Okay.
Yeah. So when I started changing that perspective mindset of baseball, it clicked for me. And not to say that this is the first time I've heard it, which we all need reminders here and there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Once that baseball effect started kicking in, I felt like my love was driven back out of me again. Like, okay, this is what it's like to touch the ground. This is what it's like to move a runner over. Yeah. This is what it's like to have a swing and bunt for an RBI.
Yeah.
Like, when it's not going good, it's not going good. But when you start picking up that little feather of faith, that's when you play for the most. That's when you play the hardest.
Yes. And that's a great point. And I got a question quick.
Sure.
So you mentioned in between the lines, everything kind of changes. And you're right. Even when I played, it was like, okay, I'm a little nervous driving to the ballpark. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not there. I'm not in control yet. But obviously visualization is a big thing for you. So tell me about how that helps you improve your game or stay where you need to be.
And I lock in, dude. I put my headphones on and I envision myself hitting a home run. I envision myself hitting a double, doing a crazy celly, doing diving plays, like trying to think like I'm Superman, I'm shooting for the galaxies and settling for the stars.
I like that. I like that.
I know.
Yeah. You got to keep
got a lot of good
man.
phrases, bro. You might have to start making T-shirts and we'll get you on the front of them.
Nah, man, that's how I carry myself when I go play baseball. And the thing that my dad and I have always said, and something I've always preached to my teammates was you never know when your last day is. Even as a young kid, it sounded like an old record, but it was the same record that I always hit home was you never know. Play today like it's going to be the last time you ever lace up, the last time you ever put on that jersey, because especially in this career, you really never know when it's going to be your last day. But if it can become to a conclusion where you know this is my last day, that's a graceful career right there.
You are an old soul who is certainly wise beyond 25 years. And I'll tell you what, if more people had the attitude of Ruben, first of all, the world might be a better place. But second of all, you might have athletes sitting in a different position, man, because really, two things that really stuck out so far that you said. The first thing was the way that you got back into it was just falling back in love with the game, because everything you were talking about, like getting the runner over and stuff, that's just baseball 101. You know, that's just falling in love with the game again. So the second you feel like, why am I playing? Am I playing because I'm trying to get to a certain level, or am I just playing to put myself present to go have fun, right? You know,
Exactly.
I mean, that's 100% what it is, man. And you're very motivational, right? Like you're one of those cats that, you know, I'd say, hey, you know, to my son, Deacon, come here. I want you to watch and listen to this interview, you know, because it's very motivational. And when kids, players of all ages get down on themselves, sometimes they just need that checkup from the neck up saying, hey, yo, check this guy out. You know, he's there, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of you, you know. When you said where, Chattanooga right now?
Yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay. And then AA ball?
Yeah.
So next level, you'd get called. I mean, go through the process.
When you get drafted, you go through a couple of procedures for how the Cincinnati Reds did it. We got drafted. We had a draft camp for a month, got recognized and got familiar with the players, got familiar with the bunt plays, the positionings, all the other pro ball stuff that goes into it, how to play pull, how to play oppo. And then once you get familiarized with everything, then they distribute out to the rookie ball team. So the rookie ball is in the complex league. So if you get drafted, depending on whoever team, you could either be in Arizona or Florida.
Yep.
Wherever their spring training complex is.
Yep.
So you start in rookie ball, and then you have two levels of A ball. You have low A and high A. And that for us is Daytona Beach.
Yep.
High A is Dayton Dragons. And then from there, you get promoted to double A, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yep.
Final step before the majors is triple A.
Yep.
And for us, it's in Louisville.
Yep. And see, you know, and that obviously I knew that process, but I like even it being explained on that level, especially for listeners, you know, of the show, because truly people don't, like I said earlier, people don't truly, you know, understand that because they think it's just such an easy prospect. And I don't think they realize how good these players are in single and double A. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's still
you get a lot of crazy guys going through that ball league, man. It's insane.
Cincinnati right now, they got this dude by the name of Ellie De La Cruz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who
unreal.
And the guy can strike out 4 times in a game and still end up with 3 stolen bases. The math doesn't even work, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
He finds ways, man. That's just what winners do. It don't matter, because that run comes around to score, and that's the one run we need. That's all that matters, you know. No one really cares about the strikeouts. They care about how you scored that run.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got a chance to meet him?
I've gotten a chance to play with him, and one of the craziest plays I saw was a dude going first to home in Daytona, and Daytona's turf, and this ball went in a triple alleyway, and we get it in on like a crazy 2-seam tail throw. He's backpedaling like this to do the relay, catches it, fires it 94 home, out. Craziest thing I've seen him do, man.
Effortlessly too, right?
Yeah, nah. He just kind of like shook it off, like, yeah, whatever.
Right?
Great.
Like, okay, yeah, that was tough.
I
That's
mean,
great.
and you know, and they got a lot of young talent too. I know Strand, right, is up and coming. He's that kid, can play ball, and obviously Ruben, you know, can play ball. I mean, Troy, what else you got for this man?
Nothing. I'm just interested with the fans and how you've been with them. I mean, moving up, do more people know you now? Is it they're calling you by your first name? Like, tell me about that.
Backtrack that even more. When you're the backyard dogs, it's the same families. You know, you don't really, you ain't selling out no packed out crowds.
Okay.
When you ain't exposed to it, it's a little overwhelming at first, depending on how you look at it. My first night in pro ball, when I got promoted to low A, I went 0 for 4, golden sombrero, got interviewed the next day. It was no like heroic story, man. I get interviewed the next day by the radio commentator, and he goes, "What do you think you did a really good job at?" And I said, "Setting the bar low because it's only up from here. We're gonna go up, man." And from there, my humor kind of spread around the Daytona Tortugas atmosphere because they're really involved with their team and that whole Florida Atlantic Leagues. Daytona Tortugas they get the best crowd, man. And when you're going 0 for 4 and everyone's chanting you down the line, like, "Hey, man, like, you're okay. Don't worry about it." You don't got people on the other side. Like when you go to San Diego State, you go to Fresno, you go to Nevada chirping at you, want you to do the dirt and
Yeah.
all this other stuff. So when you get that appraisal, like, "Hey, it's okay. Here, let's win."
Right
Now
on.
let's ask what really matters. What's your TrackMan high this year? How far and how hard?
This year, I don't think I went anything over 106 or 107.
Yeah.
That's all.
Some
That's all.
and then
It looks like you're pushing 500, and I see them swings, man. I don't know. Not this year, soon.
man, these AA balls don't fly, man. They don't go
They don't?
nowhere. I had a
Really?
105, 32-degree exit velo dead center, and it stopped right before the track.
Is there an actual difference in the ball?
Maybe. But I don't really put too much in
No,
it.
you think-
I think it does, but even if it does, I should have hit it to left field. That's just not smart hitting. Hit it to the deepest part of the ball field, man. Way to go.
So with that, I'm actually interested, Ruben. What is your approach at the dish? I know that there's endless things you could say, but are you trying to hit it up the middle? Are you trying to elevate? I know that's your job. I know, you know what I'm saying? You're not a singles guy. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So I had the privilege to be working in this organization. I've had the privilege to be working with Eric Davis, Barry Larkin,
Wow.
and some of the really good old heads in the game. Lenny Harris, talking about my swing, talking about different
Those are
mentalities.
huge names to be helping you with that swing.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about the differences in approaches and how to execute. And for me, the approach developed in the seeing to hit the ball to just right at the batter's eye or in the right center. Within that small gap frame, I want to drive every fastball out right there. And any off speed is going to go to that left center part of the field. Within that split timing, staying inside of all the baseballs and hitting 4 pitches rather than the 2 and coming in and out, giving yourself the best chance to stay through the ball has been a little bit of key point turnaround in my swing.
Nice.
And it was just a reminder that as I'm doing that is to continue to think backspin the ball.
That's
You know,
huge.
I don't need to do all this. I really just need to come at it like this and stay on top of that ball.
Yeah.
It's so wild to me to hear you guys say that on a professional level, because you've been since you were 6 years old or whenever you started playing ball, you've had from your dad to everyone through the line, everyone's trying to tell you how to stand, how to get your back arm up, right? Where you should be standing in the box. You know what I'm saying? And then all the way up to the pro level, you could be Shohei Ohtani, who's slumping a little bit right now, right? Like the dude was on fire batting almost 400. Now he's slumping batting 320. But he'll say, I had to go back and change my style. I had to change the way I was swinging and my approach at the plate, right? And that's just so crazy, dude. It's like telling Michael Jordan, that he needed to change his jumper, or telling Tom Brady, that he needed to change the way he threw the ball. And like you guys, your constant willingness to learn and change and be open-minded is what I think separates the guys who are going to ultimately be the most successful from the guys who aren't. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. You guys are like, yeah, all right. I mean,
willingness to learn is to be a sponge. I don't know everything. And even the guy that taught me a lot of the things that I know today about the fundamentals, other than my dad, my 2 coaches back home, James and Phil Gomez, they still tell me they don't know everything either. And I have them on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So from those peers aspect, like what makes me think I know more than them, let alone what makes me think I know more than any, like, I don't know the entire game correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still want to learn how to play. I still want to know what to do. And to go back to talk to those old heads, like, what better way to talk about the game of baseball than with the guys that have been there in the shoes, done what you want to do.
I dig it.
That's
I got you probably got to get rolling here, man. So we'll get a couple more questions in if you don't mind. I got a fun one here. I've actually never asked this to anyone before, but I said I was going to start asking people this because I love the whole thought behind it. You're going out to dinner, dead or alive, 4 people, you and 4 other people. Who do you want to sit down and have dinner with, other than Troy Banks and Donovan Scott?
Probably my dad, my grandpa, my two little brothers.
That's amazing answer, dude. That's
My grandpa passed away when my dad was 6 years old. So to have that moment to kindle with my dad and, my grandpa, while my two brothers and I sit there, and then we could chop it up.
and it's somewhat tear jerking. And to be able to sit there quickly, right? To have that as an answer when, the options could have been Biggie Smalls and just busted. But no, that's incredible answer, man. And again, just says so much more about your character. Troy, how about you? If you could sit down and have dinner with 4 people.
4 people, man. I was hoping that we skip this one because now, you know what I'm saying?
I'm putting it
No,
right.
So I got 3. I'll say my dad, my 2 brothers, and my mom. I'll say us 4.
Yeah, there it is. That a boy.
And
So, it's nothing like family, man. And that's just the truth of it. And that is the
man, and I know how close you were with
Appreciate that,
man,
bro.
and it still breaks my heart, bro. So I'm gonna tell you guys, right? Like that's not gonna be my family. I'm probably sitting down with a couple, maybe an old president, a couple of maybe Hank Aaron, somebody like that. So
you should have given us 10, man. You should have given us
That's a good company. Yeah, that's a good company. That's a feast.
I'm gonna be with Roberto Clemente, Hank Aaron, and then maybe a couple of maybe Michael Jordan can join us if he wants.
Yeah, that's a good talk, man.
This was awesome, man. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did. You have anything else for Ruben, Troy?
Yeah. So what would you give for advice to not only a young ball player, but someone that wants to accomplish any sort of dream?
If you knew you couldn't fail, how big would you dream?
That's great.
Continue to grow, continue to learn, accept your losses, learn from them, move forward.
Yes.
Don't take a lot of things personal at heart. Try to think of it as okay, how can I improve? How can I enhance in a work environment? That's one thing I'm really trying to preach to my brother right now as he's entering that high school to college phase right now. As he's jumping into San Jose State, becoming a first year, he's going to go play baseball isolated in the state of Utah for a summer, and he got homesick one time. So the thing that I've been preaching to him is a lot like, listen, you're going to be away. You're going to be doing your own thing. Know what works best for you. Listen to everything. Don't close it off, because what I've done is I've listened and I've done 100 different things, and I will do 100 different things with you. But if 2 or 1 of them stick, that's a win, because you'll never know when you'll need it on your tool belt.
Dude, you got it.
Keep going.
Can't stress enough how impressed I am with just wise beyond your years, man. Very philosophical, and I try to live a lifestyle that way, right? I believe in manifestation. Karma is almost a religion to me, right? And everything you're saying, man, is just it's literally and you're supposed to say, instead of no homo, you're supposed to say pause now, pause. But it's legit, man. Like it's so good. It's giving me goosebumps, dude. Like some of the stuff you're saying. So I absolutely share the same sentiment, man. And you certainly have a fan, with me for sure, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the opportunity and the time to be here, man. I talk baseball any day.
All right, well, might have you
I
back.
like it. I love it.
Thanks for taking the time with us, man. We really appreciate it. Have a great night, man.
Take
Thanks,
care,
man.
buddy. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we will for sure, bro.
No doubt, guys.
All right, later.
All right.
Later.